Everybody, Nick here, and today I got a video that's pretty unlike anything I've ever done on the channel and pretty unlike anything I ever will do on the channel. And that is a gaming video. One of the things that a lot of folks have asked me over and over again is, Nick, do you ever play games, etc.? And the answer is yes, I do. Well, I used to. I don't have time to anymore because I'm running a YouTube channel with a full-time job trying to make... I gotta get that bread, you know. But, look, I've spent a lot of time in my life in games. One of the games, though, I've spent maybe the most time in, and one of the games that I think would let you get to know a little bit more about my soul is Minecraft. I used to play this way back when. Back when it was, before it was sold to Microsoft, back before there was even a creative mode. A lot of what you're going to see here was done in the days before creative mode. So, you know, new people who are used to Minecraft in its modern incarnation, this is going to be some old school stuff. But I am just going to take a little while here to talk to you a little bit about, well, what my Minecraft world looks like, right? And show you kind of this area. So, this is the very first house I ever built in the Minecraft area. Now, over the years, I've stitched together maps in a bunch of ways, but you'll see, you know, recurring themes, basically. You know, in this case, I, you know, have hidden an entrance to my secret gear locker down below there. Mind you, I only play on creative mode. So why I keep hiding from things from people is probably more about me than about the world. But anyways, you know, this is the home that I originally built, and I have improved this over. I mean, what you're going to see here today is, you know, the result of probably years and years of work. You know, absolutely crazy amounts of time spent on this. This was dug out by hand pre-creative mode. It's right. It's just down to the bottom of nothing for some damn reason. Oh, it's thundering out. Okay, that's cool. I've got a nether portal in here, although for some reason it's gone out at the moment. That's a shame. That's okay, though. No need to go to the nether. Nether's not a super interesting place. Down here, I mean, if you go down here, you can see there is a secret door. Go ahead and get down here. Come on, people. Float down. Secret door, and if you go through the secret door, you end up in a secret passage to another part of the area, which is kind of cool, right? I mean, you're going to see a whole bunch of these things. This video is very weird, and I want you to realize that this is not going to be, you know, I'm not pivoting to become a gaming channel or anything like that. That's kind of a, no, that ain't going to be a thing. Instead, I'm just kind of wanting to show off a little bit of, you know, sort of who I am, etc. This is sort of the great switching room, so to speak, where I can find all of the places I want to go, you know, for my life. We'll start off by going this direction here. You're going to see we're going to be riding a minecart a lot. And most of the time, it's going to be, you know, above ground. There are some underground areas. But what we can see here is that I've just spent a whole bunch of time, even little doors on the minecart areas. This is an early area I dug out. It's very strange to me. As a man who, in a lot of ways, doesn't have a lot that connects him to his past, you know, being isolated from a lot of where I grew up, etc. It's very interesting me to spend time in this world again because this world is very firmly in my past. This was done in like 2011, 2012, that kind of time domain. And so, you know, spending time here, even in a virtual sense, reminds me a lot of, well, places that I once was. You know, good, great, bad, and ugly. And so, you know, this little route here is taking us back up to the surface. Actually, let me see if I can turn off the weather here. Weather clear. There we go. And what we can see here is we're going to come up in the middle of this central building in the complex, and we'll go ahead and dismount and pop out of here. So I have a habit of building megastructures. This became much stronger once I was in creative mode, and I didn't have to mine all of these things. Oh, look, I got some wolves here. Hey, wolves, good to see you. Sorry, little guys. Hope someone's feeding you while I've been gone for 10 years. But anyways, this is a mega structure. I don't know what it is. I don't know why it is. I don't know any real part of it. And in fact, parts of it were built before the height limit was raised. Oh, that's just an entryway. Okay, cool. But anyways, this is a very tall building here. Complete with glass walkways and everything like that. Little crazy. Gonna keep going up. Hopefully I'm not making people sick. I'm not exactly a Minecraft video maker extraordinaire. Got a bed up here. Why not? Little workbench. Little chest. Don't think there's anything in it. But nonetheless, yeah. So this is the kind of crazy thing I build. This whole thing is not a yeah, it's sort of a temple to nothing particularly. But that's okay. Oh, the world is full of temples to nothing particularly. And we'll stop to avoid hitting the glass. We're in creative mode here, so I can just stop whenever I'd like, not die. It's a useful mode to have, right? And we can keep going out this direction. Although, actually, come to think of it, I don't think there's that much of interest in that direction. I think I've got some cool little things, but, you know, you're not going to learn that much sort of about me as we go on here. This is one of the newer areas of the map, actually. But anyways, so I'll build these weird megastructures. It happens. It's a thing I enjoy doing. As a kid, I always liked Lego-style toys a lot. Actually, screw it. You know what? We're not going to go up that way. We're going to take a different route. We're going to fly. We can fly now. This was a small project right here to start rebuilding parts of my childhood home in Minecraft. Didn't work that well. Turns out there were too many damned angles. But nonetheless, you can see elements of it. Lots of projects just around. The cartway goes underneath there. That's fun. Actually, oh yeah, I forgot. I made a giant glass pyramid. I haven't been in this world for a while now. You know, and this is a world that, you know, I initially played in survival mode when everything was deeply untamed. But now, you know, has been moved over. But, like, you know, getting to that area was a hard-fought victory. This is a gigantic glass pyramid. Let's go on ahead and land. Again, secret entrance, because all entrances should be secret, right? You're talking to a guy who, if he had the ability, would make, you know, bookshelf entrances and such in his own house. Yeah, it's kind of a cool structure, I'm going to be honest. I felt they needed prairie dogs in Minecraft, so I went ahead and I put a little hole for one just in case they put it in a later version. Right? But anyways, that little cart path goes back to the main switching area, but we don't need to go there for the moment. Lock up afterwards. Look, I don't even know why I'm showing you all this. I mean, I've gotten a couple of different requests from people, you know, who've heard I play Minecraft to see what comes inside of my mind. But yeah, and the architecture varies a fair amount of the kind of things I do. This was one that I did way back when, a very modernist kind of house, which I appreciate. You know, if I were building a real-life house that was specifically, you know, to my taste, this is probably the kind of thing you would see. Here, I'll take off. Just kind of a nice little thing. And you can see I put a lot of effort into making sure, you know, it's well lit, etc. A little underfurnished. I mean, that's the funny thing, right? Of all of it, well, there are a lot of funny things like, oh. But, you know, it's a weird sort of situation, right? And that brings us right back to the main house, and we can go back in there and find our way down to that grand entrance area. But anyways, it's always fun to just be able to build these random structures, these random objects. Over here, I've got the chunks are waiting to load. Go ahead and load their chunks. That little area goes down into a mine area that I was using back when I still had back when I was still in creative mode, or in survival mode, to get materials. This is a gate for this wall. Oh, I just destroyed the only switch that made that work. That's not great. But that's okay, actually. Put that lever back. Come on. Oh, now I'm destroying redstone, too. You can see here I'm not used to it, but anyways, it's got a lava gate. That's cool. Why do you keep wanting to rain, bro? I'm trying not to rain over here. I'm showing the people something they didn't ask for. Okay, like 4 people asked for this. But that's okay. Up there I've got the beacon. That's, by the way, the beacon is a reference to Gondor, of course, Lord of the Rings. In case you can't tell, I'm kind of a nerd. If you haven't figured this out that close, I mean, I'm guiding you through a Minecraft world that I built over years and years of my life. Yeah, kind of a nerd. That's down right there. That's the switching plaza there, and you can see that the tracks coming out of it actually go underwater for a little while. It's another structure I'm really proud of. I have no idea what the heck it is, but it's a thing. Some sort of a temple or another. I'm not 100% sure, but it is it's a situation. It's pretty attractive, actually. And again, each one of these major, megastructures here is connected via a rail line to everything else. I don't know why I do that, but I don't know, it makes everything a little bit more accessible, and yeah, it's kind of a joy to walk around. I mean, seriously, that's not an unattractive interior there. Not, making the claim that it's a gem, functionally speaking. A little lacking for living space and things like that. But we can get back on the road here. This is the main loop, actually, that takes you sort of out into the world here. You can see there's an underground little area there. This is just going to go underwater for a little while. That goes to, I don't even know where that goes to. I think I was just playing around with a little bit. That area, that goes to the mountain cabin. You'll see that later, I guess. But nonetheless, some underwater stuff. I tended to put a premium, for whatever reason, on, trying not to disrupt the natural landscape where I could. Which is really weird. I'm like a Minecraft environmentalist or some craziness like that. Over there, half of this has been hollowed out there. What you'll see, by the way, in this map, more than most, is a bunch of, like, artifacts. You can see, one thing you'll see that's kind of a reality of this world is that I have stitched together multiple maps at one point in time using a map editor, which in many ways was not a great thing because it left big gaps and things like that, but it allowed me to unite all of these, crazy things I did into one structure. And so you'll see a lot of weird artifacts and things like that. Not artifacts in the sense of, like, ancient pocket knives, but artifacts in the sense of, like, oh, that's not how Minecraft's supposed to work, and that's okay. Up here, I've got myself another mega structure. This one is desert-themed. Nice and attractive. Again, with a little transit station in the basement of it there, which is cool. I can't argue with that. I don't even know why I named these things what I named them. Over here, I found a pattern once online that talked about the, basically talked about how to build a sphere in Minecraft, which is a cool geometrical problem, right? Like, how do you make something that best approximates a sphere that is with a square? And so I decided, you know what, hey, let's go ahead and let's give it a shot, right? And so I did. And so I have myself a just gigantic sphere hovering someplace around here. Skylight at the top there. It's like they say, the only thing you have to sphere is sphere itself. Okay, that was bad. This is one of the very first megastructures I made. Actually, at the time that I made it, that was the height limit for Minecraft, generally speaking. They raised that at a certain point, as I recall. But, it was just a cool building. This one, I believe, was actually made in survival mode. So to this day, I'm afraid of creepers. Not like the kind that you meet on the internet, but the kind that are, explode around your stuff. So, this is one of my very early sort of things, but I appreciate it. You note I put the red torches there just so errant helicopters and whatnot don't hit into it. Now, of course, none of those things exist in the Minecraft world, so, I suppose it is what it is. Got here an area of quarrying for some reason. I still did quarrying, even despite the fact that there was a, well, it's Minecraft. I don't, creative mode, I don't need that anymore. For some reason, oh, I think I made a giant bridge over here. I forget what this whole area even is. I'm sure I'll find something to do with it. What's funny is, very often I don't remember exactly what the purpose of any of these structures was. In some cases I was trying to build something particularly elaborate, like maybe a monster trap or a slime farm or something like that. But in this case, is this thing hollow? That would make some sense, right? Yeah, this is a monster trap. That's right. And then at the very bottom here, they hit the lava, and then you get to harvest whatever. Oh, uh-oh, I'm on fire. And not in the good sense. Not that there's a great sense of being on fire, particularly. Yeah, okay, so there's a big old monster trap. All right, neat. Whoa there. The world beyond creative mode. I know a lot of kids are probably watching it. Good God, man, I'm trying my best not to have the weather come up to be an issue here, but weather clear. Calm it down, folks. Calm it down. So anyways, yeah, this is sort of the world that I've built, and There were a lot of weird elements of it, but yeah, I suppose it is what it is. When you take a weird person, oh yeah, here's another quarrying area all the way down, complete with mine tracks down. This is another building I like. I don't know why I... There's going to be a lot of I don't know why, but honestly, hey, why not? Right here I've got a another secret, like, well, not secret, there's a big freaking lever next to it, but this building is built entirely of obsidian, which at least at one point in time in the game's history was completely unable to be injured by creepers. And so it has, you know, this elaborate system of obsidian-based airlocks, and then it goes down to a oh, that's right. This goes all the way down to the subway, so to speak. Because, you know, most of these things have both a surface level set of mine tracks or minecart tracks as well as a deep underground set of them. And so you can kind of get to both that way. Where's the... Okay, that must be going towards the tower. All right, let's go that way. Yeah, so if I were to go down this route, I would actually end up back at the... I'd first go through this mine, I think, but then I would end up back at the house we started off at. You know, I don't know why this satisfies me as much as it does. Well, that is, it did satisfy me. You know, I still enjoy it, but it's not quite the same anymore. But I think at some level, you know, I was a kid who grew up with Lego, right? And, you know, building stuff there was a lot of fun, but, you know, you ran out of bricks and you didn't ever have the one you wanted, and, you know, you could never really, there was a limit on scale, right? But then, no, don't need to go down. Let's go up instead. Because I believe if I go up here, this will actually take us into that big old building there. And we should, oh, come off it. Here we go. Oh, no, this is just a random area. You would have think I'd have given myself a signpost or something or another. That would have been nice, right? Here we go. This looks like it's an upwards staircase. I bet if I keep going up to here, I'm going to hit some tracks. That'll be the external set of tracks. I think at one point in time I actually had these connected via a very interesting set of... Yeah. Anyways... There we go. Yep, exactly. So, where the heck are these things going? You, I think, are going... Oh, yeah, that's to the downwards route. Yeah, let's go this way, see where we end up. Either way, I think it is roughly the... it's the Lego thing. Yeah, okay, good. I'm going the correct direction here. So we're going to go this way. And, you know, go through some forests and whatnot, through the glades. Again, trying to minimize the environmental impact here. There's also an element of exploration. I think Minecraft in creative mode is sort of... There's a major joy to it because you just get to explore a world that's constantly changing, right? You know, I get to see, you know, thousands of things that I never would have seen before, and... It's, you know, a generative world. This is what happens. This little gap right here is what happens when you connect two maps together that didn't have a good alignment. This is actually a gap. There's no bedrock here. I'll stop myself. You can see where the bedrock stops on both maps, but if you go any further down than that, you die. That's not good, generally speaking. Death is not something I generally recommend to people. But anyways, so instead I built this little bridge here for a minecart, and that gets me into the next map, which, or at least the next chunk of map. And let's hop in here. And boom. And we can keep on going. It's always, like I said, what's funny is that if you do, you know, doing this, a lot of times what I was doing, maybe it's only funny to me, a lot of times what I was doing while I was doing all this was actually, you know, sitting on the couch, for instance, laptop in my lap, working on this while we're watching TV or something or another. And so very often, actually, I have memories of whatever show I was watching at the time that I was, you know, working on a given chunk, right? And, oh, I don't know what that was about, but suddenly stopped. That's okay. Gonna be a couple of those places here, no doubt. And so I'll have memories of, oh, this is the thing I was working on or looking at or doing while I was, building this particular chunk of road. Or even particular, life events that were going on. Nice little bridge here. See, this is the kind of thing that I find to be very, it's a cool little landscape. I think we'll see that area again later on as we loop back around. The procedural land generation got a lot better in later versions. One thing you're never going to see in this map is actually villages. This was all done before that. Again, here I'm going underneath the water just to be less of an issue. One thing you're going to see off to the sides here are these little areas with the tracks to both sides of the existing track. When I started this, there were actually not redstone minecart boosters. That wasn't a thing yet. And so what you had to do is build those things where you'd put a pair of minecarts on a set of tracks, and there was a glitch such that if you had a minecart next to you moving, you would accelerate to maximum speed. And so if you built those every so often, you would end up doing a great deal of speed throughout that area. And so what you had to do actually is just build a series of those things, and that was enough to keep you boosted and get you moving. And that's kind of cool, right? And so this is not only a point in my life, but a point in the history of the game. I haven't really played much. I beat the Ender Dragon. That's about where I stopped, and that was, coming back to it way later. Here's a random castle. Got a dungeon down there in the bottom. It's got a little bit of a Game of Thrones thing to it, I think. I appreciate that. But yeah, I just, tried to take advantage of the natural landscapes when it came up. Right? Hashtag not a brilliant Minecrafter either. All right. Let's drop this in here. So yeah, a lot of what you see here is hacks based on earlier versions of the game, some of which have worked still, some of which are now broken. And that's okay. Yeah, here's another minecart booster thing. And again, when the redstone thing came out, that was way more reliable and worked better, so I replaced a lot of those with actual with redstone there. But, in some cases, I didn't bother to keep them to take those out. I don't know why. Yeah, just time I could be spending doing other things. We're going to spend a lot of time in a minecart here. Part of it is just, there's a joy there. You can see we're going under this beautiful lake here. So we go all the way down. Another big old booster here. And that booster was enough to get me up the hill we just came down. Or, in the other direction, this booster will get me down or up the hill here. There was a fair amount of boost there, which is kind of cool, right? Early, I don't even want to say technology. Yeah, and then at this point I would have run out of steam. This was all trial and error, right? So much time in my life. So much time. Just like I'm taking time from your lives. But hey, look, if you're enjoying this, do let me know. Because it's not a thing I'm going to do often, but I'm just always curious. At some level, this feels like super intimate. This is stuff that I didn't ever expect to show anybody because, well, I think my wife has seen some of it. But, it's just the stuff that happens inside my own head when I'm left with a world of my own devices. And so, here we are. As we go further this way, heading into the desert area. Or a desert area. At the very least. There's a joy in it. I don't even know how I decided on the right tracks. Just, worked. Like in this case, I think there was a natural hole here that I just expanded out. And made a little bit more uniform. Another booster. I like this structure. Big fan of the American Southwest. Kind of Arches, Moab area. So, kind of reminded me of that, right? And again, we can drop down. There are probably little buildings that I've forgotten about all throughout this approach. I've got some of my favorites, and I'm showing you mostly those. But, I've spent a lot of time wandering here. It's very, yeah. I'm going to keep saying that, but it is very weird to come back to this. I probably haven't even had Minecraft installed for 4 years or something like that at this point. And then on a lark, actually, my buddy Connor mentioned to me, "Oh, hey Nick, do you play Minecraft?" I said, "Well, I used to," and wanted to see my map. It was just like, really? Okay, I guess, sure, why not? And so I figured, why the heck not? Show it off, do a proper tour, right? And okay, we are again raining. Rain, rain, go away. Alrighty. Oh, didn't mean to do that. I had a little technical issue there. A little bit of a snafu. Seemed to have lost my inventory, but that's okay. I'm in creative mode anyways, so shouldn't really matter. Come here, minecart. You're the one I'm going to need. There we go. Oh, sure. I'll pick that up. That'll do. This whole area over here is sort of an Egyptian-themed area. Created a little sphinx guy. Can't really tell necessarily offhand. And then a pyramid over here. This is yet another example of sort of, you would think, and this is probably a sign of, what my mindset was like at that moment, but this is a peaceful game. There were literally no enemies, but I have all of these traps randomly created, partly with just to show off cool redstone mechanisms, but partly also, see, this is cool. Single skylight at the top there. My homes tended to be very poorly finished. Not a whole lot there. But anyways, I have all these, elaborate trap mechanisms and things like that. Like, how do you get down there? Well, you hit the lever, and the stairs show up. And you can shut that off. Yeah, it's kind of cool, right? And even, other secret areas. Like, again, you hit that button. And, secret, yeah, you hit the freaking lever. A big, big secret over there. But this is actually taking me out of the pyramid area and then up into the interior of the Sphinx, which brought me a little bit of joy, I'll be honest here. There's some glee in showing off all this crazy stuff. Yet another secret stash. Got a, don't even know what any of this does. Well, I know what some of these things do. Just random things I found around there. Probably need some rails. I'll take those. But anyways, just a random sort of selection of items. Yeah. Anyways, I'll close up the secret room there. Sarcophagus. Don't know who's in there. Hopefully nobody. It's supposed to be a peaceful world. Death seems pretty unpeaceful. And again, that's probably because I'm not a vampire, right? For them, death seems to be a sort of a relaxation moment, Alrighty, and we'll go on ahead and close that. That's a weird comment to make. My freaking wife watches a lot of vampire shows. So I have, yeah. Anyways, so let's keep on going down the road here. Say goodbye to the pyramid again, marked helpfully for nearby helicopters. And we can keep going. This little area here that we're going to go through is mostly just a fun little minecart run. I think there's some joy of just, taking in the scenery, because again, it's not unattractive. The whole game thing is well done. Procedural generation stuff for this is pretty mind-blowing still to me. At least, then again, I grew up in a time where video games were not that good. Oh, see, here's a situation where it didn't quite have enough steam. I needed to add a little bit of redstone there. That's okay. I'll get there. Oh, well, actually, probably won't. In practice, I'll probably put this world back into my storage, so to speak, and open it up in 4 more years or something like that. But for the moment, it's always nice to go back. Nice to have something to go back to for a change, right? But yeah, here we're going to do a little bit of a flying leap. We might land in a tree. Trees had a tendency to grow. Nope. Okay, that's good. Yeah, for this for a little while here, I realized that you could make minecarts jump off of things, and so I did that a fair amount. Not because it's necessary, but because it brings me joy. Again, more boosters, so that tells us the area we were in. Honestly, adding in redstone minecart accelerators, that was a huge, huge gain for me. Oh man, did this game get better. Just because of the way I like to play, being able to just do this rather than having to build these elaborate, booster pads, yeah, that's a plus. That's a major plus. Big freaking fan of that. Alright, so, yeah. Again, for a little ways here. Oh, computer's choking a little bit. That's okay. Nighttime. One of the strange things about the human mind, there were many strange things about the human mind, perhaps mine particularly, but just everybody's mind, is that you end up with a weather clear. There we go. You end up with weird memories of things, right? And it occurs to me in playing this how many memories I have of this world that literally never existed. Like, this is not a place. This is not ever a... But it is a world that is as clear in my mind in some ways as some of the other ones I've lived in, right? Like, I still have in my mind the schematic map of what'll happen if I keep going down this rail area, down this particular route. And that's weird, right? You know, some days I can't remember what I had for freaking lunch the day before, but I'm perfectly able to understand that, oh yeah, here's my random... You know, here's my random cabin, or at least one of them. I was never a big fan of that particular random cabin. Got another one I like way more. But, yeah, still, this is there, you know, fresh as you might imagine in my head, which is strange, right? But that's okay. Here we go, going up for some reason. Oh, here's a jump. Nice. Yeah, beautiful. That's why we're going up. And probably another one. Yeah, we're going up these hills. But it's always fun. Video games, I think, you know, I'm in the generation for whom video games had maybe an outsized effect on them, just because, you know, I've got all kinds of these things buried in my head, right? You know, Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, Link to the Past. Deep inside of my head, I could, you know, navigate you across Hyrule Field any damn day of the week without any, you know, probably Diablo 2, actually, although some of the maps were procedurally generated, so they changed, but the overall layout and things like that, I still have so much Diablo 2 knowledge in my head. Hey, Wolf, good to see you. I still have so much knowledge for that game in my head that it's ridiculous. But here we are. This particular portion of the tracks was built, well, I was watching a show about a reality TV show about exterminators, going through and dealing with pest infestations. Dumb, but hey, you know what? It was mildly interesting, I guess, at the time. I've watched worse. Gold Rush comes to mind as a show that is way worse. But I still own, I think, every season of, because I am completely ridiculous. But again, I'm completely ridiculous. This should come as no shock to anybody here in this group. Whoa there. Coming down. We must be getting pretty close to the longhouse at this point in time. I feel like. Maybe not quite there yet, but not so far off. Whoa, this is a big old freaking hill. Oh, I bet I'm going to do a big old jump at the top of this. Yep, there we go. Big old jump. And you just need to land on some tracks, and life is good. Okay, maybe I am easily amused. Who knows? Yeah, there's the longhouse area over there. This is sort of the marker of the end of the world for me, at least of this particular world. I never went any further in this direction. It's a good ways out. I mean, as you all know, we've been going for a while yet. And, you know, this... Again, there's a transit station in the bottom here. But for some reason, it felt reasonable to build a big old house at the end of the world, so to speak. Then turns into a loop. We go around the other side, but it's a nice little house. I have no idea who all I expected to move in here. Honestly, it's kind of ridiculous. And then I put some, oh, what is it? Not nether brick, is it? There's a term for that stuff I've now forgotten. Of course, I can remember how to get everywhere, but I've now forgotten how that works. Yeah, that's the direction I want. What's that switch do? Oh, wait. What the heck is down here? Probably another freaking room to stash my gems in. Come on, bro. Oh, that's weird. A nether portal. Okay. I wonder why all my nether portals stopped working. Somebody who knows this game can probably help. Either way, it's a thing. Oh, here we go. Boom! A little bit of acceleration there. Yeah, let's take that one out. Now this should actually take us down. Yeah, there we go. That's the track we came in on. This is going to start us in the journey in this overall direction here. Again, we're going under the lake to preserve the views around there. Yeah. But it's going to take us a little bit in this direction here. And then we are now into territory, by the way, where... hold on. Weather clear. There we go. We're now into territory where the boosters never existed. Or I'm sorry, that I started after they introduced the redstone track. Oh, come on. Why are we doing this? There we go. So, here, I'll just fly for a bit. Why not, right? So, yeah, you can see over there, there is, this is one of those big hills I climbed earlier, and then did a jump off of. The longhouse is over that direction someplace. But, then up in here, I've got a random, random bedroom for some reason. At this point, I was so deep in creative mode that bed didn't even matter. But I still built them. Just out of habit, I guess. Who knows? That's the other track that we were on previously. They diverge after a little while, but nonetheless. Then this little structure here, I don't even remember what's up in there. Go figure. But I'm sure it was like 6 hours of my life or something. I remember so very deeply, and with such wonderful recollection, when I had hours and hours of my life to give to a random, to the Minecraft or something like that. Half the reason I'm making this video is to justify my being able to play back through this, It's just a random little beautiful house with a bed in it. Why not, right? If only getting real estate was so easy in the real world relative to Minecraft. What the world needs now is a little bit more procedural generation. So if we run out of space, we can just go to the next chunk, right? That'd be nice. Anyways, I digress. But yeah, I think I remember now so fondly, the times. This was, partly during grad school. Yeah, this was all grad school, actually, where, I had more time to actually just sit back and, do less, frankly. But then my life exploded, so to speak, and I was too busy adulting, as the phrase goes, for a while to really pick it up, and then afterwards, I never quite picked it back up again. And then after that, by the time I was out of the worst of grad school and the worst of life stuff, well, I had the channel going, which is a big, eater of free time, in a nice way, certainly. But, yeah, I don't know. It's strange that I never got back in there. Water physics in Minecraft, not always straightforward. Just saying. But yeah, the days when I used to be able to do this were in some ways beautiful days, although in some ways they weren't. In some ways, the reason I did this is escapism. I've been through some ugly stuff in my life. Luckily, it was mostly around me, but a lot of it bled over into my life, and in some cases involved me pretty directly. And having a place where there were literally no creatures around to cause harm, where I could just do what I wanted and enjoy what I wanted to enjoy, in a completely peaceful world that would generate itself and that I could mold to my desires, that was very, strong, right? That's some quality stuff right there. And so I think I took advantage of that. And in fact, you can kind of see at some level where I was at that time by looking at the architecture. So many of the things that I've showed you here today are, hidden or, meant to be fortified, etc. Not because I was playing with any monsters around, but just because that's what I wanted at that time. Still want to some extent, right? I think we all want a little peace and quiet, and this was a peaceful and quietful. Yeah, it's not even. Yeah, quietful. Sure, why not, right? Peaceful and quiet world. And so looking back at it, at some level, it's like Nice, nice work. And another level, it's like, oh, pass Nick, you need a freaking hug. And I did. But I got some. And that made it better. But anyways, this is now sort of a big old rail line here. It's, right now there's not all that much of interest aside from just pretty territory, I suppose. We'll get to some areas that have a little bit more going on in a bit, but yeah, at this point, the main goal for this line here, which is why it's such a straight shot, was to get back to the other stuff. Because remember, I'd merged a bunch of maps together. My goal here was to make an attractive outdoor, track, basically, a path that would get me back to some of the other stuff that I'd built previously. Hey, sheep, how's it going? And so, as I was doing this, there was a lot less going on there. Oh, I'm going underground for a bit. All right. I'll take the opportunity to clear up the weather. Weather clear. There we go. Clear as heck. Beautiful. And so, yeah, I think I, on occasion would build some random stuff out here. By this point, I was mostly connecting everything back up. Building the great rail line, so to speak, that we're riding on now. Had I spent all this time, I don't know, creating a new business or something like that, and maybe I'd be a wealthier man, but this is what I needed at the time. This thing here, Avatar, not the one with the airbenders, but with the Smurfs, Dances with Smurfs, that big thing. I spent some time, because there they had the world tree, right? Which was a gigantic tree that they all lived in or hung out with or something or another. It was a cool-looking tree. I was thinking to myself, I wonder if you can build that in Minecraft. If you, plant trees, you can do that. And so I gave it a shot, right? And so I built a gigantic building that looks like a gigantic tree. Come on, down. There we go. Ultimately, yeah, cool building. But never ended up doing anything with it. Is there even a bed in here? That's weird for me. Well, I guess I'm not much of a hippie, I guess. Too many I guesses. It's okay. Let's find back to the track over here. Interesting thing. Believe it or not, you probably believe it. You wouldn't have any reason to, I'm not going to lie to you about this. That can catch fire. At one point in time, it did. I forget exactly how, but I did something that caused the fire and the whole damn thing burned. It was not pretty. I ended up resetting the save at that point because I'd spent some time on that. So anyways, that's the world tree. Interesting thing. Probably not, actually. This is probably super self-indulgent, but you know what? What the heck? It's my channel. And this is probably going to be unlisted anyways, so hey. If you found it, no right to complain at all. We should be getting to the territory for the CN Tower at some point in time here soon. Show off to the side there. Maybe not yet, but it's coming up. I decided at one point in time I was watching some, World's Tallest Buildings documentary, and, at this point I was sort of looking for projects, right? Like I'd built a lot of the things I was going to build, so I, was just thinking, hey, what else could I do? And I saw, some show about the CN Tower and decided, hey, what the heck, let me build as close as I can to doing that in Minecraft, right? And unfortunately, the bricks are pretty big relative to the humans, so it's kind of hard to do anything at scale. Or at least with any kind of accuracy. At scale is easy. Accuracy's the hard one. But nonetheless, oh yeah, it's probably on the other side of this lake here. There's a lot of ground being covered here. Like miles and miles. There it is. Yeah. Big old freaking tower. Unfortunately, in practice, I don't think it's that interesting. I never really did anything with the interior of it. There's probably a bed up there. But aside from that, it's just sort of a massive narcissistic sculpture of some variety or another. That's actually just, that's not a structure out there. Oh, hey there, caught. All right, let's fly for a little bit. Why not, right? We don't need the minecart noise for the rest of our lives here. We're just going in a straight line anyways, so why not? Going ahead and move in this direction. If we continue down this way, I wonder how much further we are from the cabin in that area. I want to say that minecarting is slightly faster. Maybe I'm crazy here, but we'll find out. At full tilt, yeah, I think it is actually a little bit faster than flying, which is probably why I built all this minecart area rather than just making cans or something like that. Can, K-I-K-A-I-R-N-S, like hiking. Cairns. However the heck you'd say it. Anyways. Yeah, then we're back into a forested area. It's nice. Over the river and through the woods. Except my grandmother doesn't live here. She's actually quite grateful about that. Oy, oy, oy. Anyways, back at the ranch. I could have sworn I had some Easter Island-esque statues. See, just very subtly veered the track there to avoid cutting down some trees. And weather again. Weather clear. Man, that would have been a nice command to have back when I lived in Michigan, right? Just to clear off. Who needs snow, right? Says the Southern Californian. That's a freaking dolphin? When did they put dolphins in this? That's new. Huh, neat. Go figure, right? Dolphins are a thing now in Minecraft. God, the world has moved on. Days like this where I feel the aging rather acutely. But that's okay. Yeah, there he is. Decided at some point in time, again, watching some Discovery Channel thing on Netflix about the Easter Island statues, and decided, hey, why the heck not, right? Let's make one. Actually, pretty proud of that. That's not bad sculpture work, right? Well, okay, don't comment otherwise. Let me have my joy, okay? And we go across a massive frozen lake. And I think sooner or later here we're going to hang a left. And yeah, I think so. The amount of time spent here is damn near incalculable. Okay, whoa there. We got some random minecarts taking me the wrong direction. Those... I am the only person, literally, who inhabits this world. Why the heck are there other minecarts? Maybe those were ones that I... Is it still simulating the ones that I just let go? Who the heck knows? That's weird. Either way. Oh well. There we go. Yeah. So that's an aircraft carrier right there. I don't know exactly why I decided I was going to do my best to make an aircraft carrier out of Minecraft materials, but I sure did. And actually, I feel like I did a pretty reasonable job there. Got yourself a panel-based radar system. Got yourself some, I guess, missile tubes or something like that. Go figure, right? Got your plane elevator. No planes, mind you. That's not a thing. But nonetheless... You can see here because it's one block thick, right? You can, does it go all the way? What's down here? Come on, down, bro. Oh, it's just the storage area, I guess. Who knows? Yeah, but someday I just decided, hey, let's make an aircraft carrier, right? And, you know, there we go. The rest is history. It's an area I like a lot, actually. It reminds me of, I don't know, I like the pine snowy biome. Again, says the jackass in Southern California. And up there, I think, is my very favorite structure. It's not much, but it's... Oh, no, hold on. Not going that way. Going back this direction. But yeah, there's a random aircraft carrier. Enjoy. Yeah, we're heading up into an area that I'm sort of fond of. Not because it's, you know, the most elaborate thing. You could make a pretty good argument that aircraft carrier, maybe the disappearing staircase and or the glass pyramid. Really, guys? About a bazillion freaking minecarts up in here. Come on. And, oh. I forget what patch they added the ability to start yourself going in a minecart, because that changed my freaking world, I'll say. Here we go. But this is an area I just feel very fond of, just generally speaking, in the game. Because not only do you get beautiful vistas like that, but, you know, I've got my little... Got this little cabin here. The door appears to have come off in its age. This is probably my favorite structure. For a while there, I had a pair of dogs in there, but they, I think I let them go when I realized I wasn't coming back. Which is a really weird thing to do, by the way. Then again, beneath it, as always, there's a little cellar. Actually, if I go all the way down there, that takes us to an internal route that gets us back to the home. There's an entirely indoors road as well. I don't know why I did that, but I did. But, you know, that way if there was snow, who knows. But anyways, I like that cabin a lot. Nice big bridge here. There's a boat there for some reason. There we go. Get rid of that little guy. That was a monster trap of some variety or another. Weather clear. There we go. Beautiful. Set weather to clear. Life is good. Alrighty. This is a yurt. Can't actually make a yurt in Minecraft, but I figured I'd try. Nice little house. Meantime, why not? But yeah, that little mountain area, I think, one of my very favorite places. If I had to retire to a location in Minecraft, that'd probably be it. Which is a weird thing to say. Oh, this bridge. I'm going to get out here real quick. Freaking dolphins. Go figure, right? You know, this was done, I think, pre-survival. So it took a lot more effort than it looks like. But, yeah, that bridge, that brought me a lot more joy. I think it's based roughly on a particular natural bridge someplace in the world. I forget what, but it was a thing, right? Yeah, and then we go down for some reason. Oh, that's why. Then, sure, let's go under the water table. That's a good place to put a minecart track. Smart move, Nick. Smart move. Then we keep going a little bit further here. I don't even remember what's in this neck of the woods. Maybe it's just a little track area. Who knows? Figure it out. Luckily, it's not so important. I'm just journeying at the moment. It's like a massive road trip through my past, but through a very weird. Oh, okay. Did you see in the distance there? That was the big old sculpture, the house with the big glass front on it. So this is actually going to take us right to this underwater switching area, right? And whoops. Probably helps if you don't destroy the minecart track as you're going along. I don't know, maybe I'm, you know, not a brilliant man, but that feels like a good idea, not to do that. But anyways, yeah, here we are. We're back in the switching area. Oh, no, not going that direction. Let's go this way. I think this should take me back to the house. And then I think I've actually been to pretty much everywhere of interest here. And the little self-indulgent journey here can can come to an end, I suppose. Oh, strange. Yeah. Like I said, it's strange to think about other people. Oh, yeah, I forgot I had underwater windows there. Then this should be maybe a 15, 20 seconds should have us back in the main house. Make sure I haven't missed anything of import. Yep, there it is. Beautiful. Random minecart strewn across the landscape. See if I can knock that out of the way before it screws me over. Ah. No, that's not exactly what I wanted to do. Random minecart door. And beautiful. Here we are. Make sure I got nothing else of interest. Yeah, I think we've covered everything. So anyways, that's my Minecraft world. I know none of you asked, but there it is. Well, for a little while, yeah, I guess I let those dogs go too. Bittersweet. Anyways, that's my world. I hope you found this remotely interesting, and most of all that you, yeah, enjoyed some part of this, and that you have yourselves just an absolutely wonderful rest of your day, everybody. And guess it's time for me to go to bed, right? Bye now.